Do we have any public comment at this point? Alrighty, moving on to Winnacunnet Pride. Grace?
So we've been really busy these past couple of weeks. We've had a lot going on between student government and then overall like Winnacunnet student events. So for overall student events right now, Winnacunnet just hosted French exchange students. And we had a lot of our French students and then some non-French students hosting kids from northern France for a week. They did 2 days in classes with Winnacunnet students, and then they did 2 field trips. And I mean, everybody loved it. I had a bunch of classes with them. It was great to, chat with them, and it was a really great experience. And I think that everybody that hosted the French students really enjoyed it as well. Yeah, and then we just also had our DC close-up trip, which is where a group of students went to Washington, D.C., and they learned about the foundations of our government. It's sometimes used as a replacement for the Foundations of Democracy class, but it was a great trip. I heard back from some of the kids that went, and they really enjoyed it, and, it was a great bonding experience for them, they said, too. Winnacunnet math team just took home second place in the tri-state math event, so that was also exciting because I've been a part of math team and I haven't been going to the later math meets, but they did a great job, and they got their runner-up trophy and they were super excited, did a whole photo shoot. The Winnacunnet math team is really passionate about what they do, and they have a lot of fun with it, which I think is awesome. And then our music department just came back from Orlando. They performed in Universal Studios, and they did a whole trip for a week, and they represented our community really well down there, and they gave a great performance. As for student council at Winnacunnet, we just had our Exeter meeting, which was a district meeting for the Southern District. We did microaggression training and a workshop where we learned about the difficulties of microaggressions in workplace and in a school, and how we as a student government can work to kind of stop those and be more sensitive to smaller, less intentional comments that might be hurtful to students that are different than you, and that was really helpful. I think we got, at least from Winnacunnet students, we got a lot of positive feedback from that one, as well as we had a disability workshop, and the guest speaker was an Exeter diversity representative, and he spoke to us a lot about the importance of having diversity in a school system, and that was really moving as well, and that was really powerful. Yeah, and we talked a lot about making school events accessible for everybody, including pep rallies and fundraisers, and how we can alter certain events to include everybody that might have a disability or people that might have more social anxiety around that. So we're working on coming up with new and innovative ways to allow all students at Winnacunnet to participate in these types of events, and not just the ones that are more outgoing and physically capable. We have our State House meeting coming up, which is for the whole state, not just the district, where we will vote on district and state positions. We have 2 members of Winnacunnet student government that are currently a part of both of those. We have one that represents us in our district student government and one that represents us in the state, and we have multiple student government members that will continue to run this coming year to represent Winnacunnet both in the Southern District and in our state. And our last state meeting was the Waterville Sleepaway one, so it's been a while, so it'll be nice to kind of reconvene and have a meeting with all of the student governments again. And we also get our results for Honor Council, which Winnacunnet student government applied for last week, which is basically a program through the state where they you can apply for it, and you give them a binder with everything that you've done throughout the year, and they basically tell you whether or not you've earned Honor Council and how good the achievements that Winnacunnet has made this year. And it's really exciting, so we will find that out in a couple weeks. And then we also have, we have a lot right now. We have our Try 3 Spirit Week and Pep Rally that we've been planning as well. Because, seniors are really getting involved a lot because it's their last Pep Rally, their last Spirit Week. We have a lot of input and a lot of feedback on it. So we have some approved Spirit Day ideas with Mr. DeBoule, and we're looking to get some student feedback on it because we want to make sure that everybody's happy with what we're doing for Spirit Days this year. We have kind of a rough outline for a pep rally and some game ideas, but like at our Exeter meeting, we are making games available to everybody, I think, and we're trying to come up with some different ideas for games and activities that might be open to everybody and not just select members, and that aren't necessarily just geared towards athletics, and more maybe we do a science or math type of event or a art-based event. And we were thinking about doing like bleacher decorating, so that way if you wanted to get involved before the fact and not in front of everybody at a pep rally, that there would be like student government hosted events for that as well, which we had a lot of positive feedback with. And then so we also have Taylor has been doing, stuff with Senior Week, and she's our senior class president, and she's been doing a lot with Senior Week and kind of getting things rolling with graduation and senior banquet. They just finalized the senior banquet menu, and then they're working on, a lot of the senior events and wrapping it up for the year, which is awesome because they're doing a great job with that. And then finally, we have our elections for next year. So those are starting up. We sent out an email, I believe, yesterday. So we're going to try and get it rolling. So basically, students will be applying really soon over break, filming their speeches so that we can send it out to the whole student body.
Well, that's cool.
We started doing it because of COVID, where students film their speeches instead of doing it publicly in front of everybody. And students liked it so much because, you can watch the video on your own time. You can watch however many you want to. You can, students that are interested can watch them, and students that aren't don't have to. And then it also takes a lot of pressure off of the candidates running as well that aren't as interested in giving a speech in front of the whole school. And it also makes it a lot easier for the people running the elections, too, to not pull kids out of class to kind of do those speeches and everything.
Right.
And it's great because you can send it out in an email to everybody along with a Google form, so they can just watch the videos and vote all in one sitting. And it's really efficient, and it gets everything done in one day. So we'll have that all done in one day when we get back from break. And then, we have a lot of returning members from this year's student government, juniors and sophomores and freshmen that are all going to plan on running. And we have kind of a rough list of the kids that are looking to run, but we're sending out an application very soon, if not already. And then, we plan to campaign, vote, and announce all in the same week, right after break, to try and just get it done with really soon. That relieves stress off of the candidates. And then it also will make sure that our main advisor, Mrs. Fegan, and I can ensure a smooth transition for next year. So that way we can get everybody prepared and moving for the fall kind of Spirit Week and everything like that.
Perfect.
So,
Thank you. Bless you. Nice. Now that you've stole all of Mr. McGowan's information.
They don't need me.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. All right. I think you're up next.
I'm up. So tonight we want to recognize and congratulate our own social worker, Tally Westerberg, who has recently completed the portfolio process to become a national certified school social worker. And this is an advanced certification that demonstrates the mastery of competencies of the National School Social Worker Practice Model. So come on down and tell us what your portfolio process was like. I'm sure it was very easy.
Yeah, piece of cake, right?
Easier than the job every day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair, everyone here at the table. For those of you who I don't know, Tally Westerberg. I don't think this microphone is on, but that's okay. I don't really need it.
Oh, it's on. He said it's on.
You got the thumbs up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm used to them being louder. There we go.
It's okay. It's for the outside anyway.
Thank you. So I have not been first with anything since I think my Science Olympiad championship in orienteering in the 8th grade. So the fact that I get to be the first person in New Hampshire to make it through this process is a huge honor. And basically, you have to write a ton of reflection papers through the national model of school social work, which includes things like mobilizing assets, like promoting a continuum of services, like building community relationships, like providing support to staff members to increase their capacity, acting in leadership roles. And, it's funny because in the day-to-day, I'm doing the things that I always do, clinical work with students and making phone calls and, sort of wheeling and dealing and those kinds of things. But to actually have the opportunity to reflect for almost 2 years through the process of specific lenses of the work, suicide prevention, some of the homeless student work that I've done, the leadership across the state, some of the grant stuff that I work with Dr. Toomey with, and of course, just working directly with students. It actually was very galvanizing. I wouldn't recommend somebody starting a process like that in the middle of a pandemic. Although I was never bored, always had papers to write and research to look at. But so I'm really, as I said, just honored. I'm thankful to the board because this board has been remarkably supportive for my entire tenure of 22 years at Winnacunnet High School, and remarkably supportive both in word and deed of student mental health and wellness. So I'm happy to answer any other questions that you might have, but that's what I've got so far.
Well, on behalf of the board and myself, thank you for all the work that you do here, and congratulations on such an achievement. It's amazing.
Thank you.
We hope you stay forever, first
Thank
off.
you.
But the work that you do is nothing short of amazing with these students.
Thank
So it is greatly appreciated.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you. Minutes, right? So next, right now, we have the approval of the minutes for the March 22nd meeting. Anybody have any questions on it? And if not, can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the minutes from the March 22nd, 2023 regular meeting.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Awesome. All those in favor? All those opposed? Thank you. And then we have our work session of April 10th, same thing. Could I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the work session, April 10th.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Opposed? I think we're
Abstain.
unanimous.
I was only there for a short period. I can't vouch for all the minutes.
Okay.
I could, but I won't.
All right, thank you. All right, next we have presentation from the financial literacy team, correct?
Correct. So, Finlit team won the championship a few weeks ago. So we have the advisor here, Ms. Harris, and some of the students here to explain what they've accomplished and a little presentation behind you.
Awesome. Welcome.
Thank you. We've got 3 of the 5 team members here tonight. Vivian Arsenal, Nathan Domingos, and Aiden Smith. So this is, I think, the 5th or 6th year of Finlit. It used to be called Jumpstart before that, and it's run, it's a state organization for financial literacy in New Hampshire. We won it in 2018. That was my first year doing it, and I was completely shocked that that happened the first time out. With the COVID years in between, we did some of it in person, some of it, or actually not in person. And I think one year it didn't happen at all. So it's back now in person, and it's great to take a team there. Go to the next one and the next one, please. The students are quizzed on 6 different categories, and it's basically kind of like a Jeopardy game at the in-person part of this. To kind of back up a little bit, in order to qualify for the state competition, schools have to register a team and take an online test of 30 multiple choice questions, a proctored exam. So we do that in basically all of our business classes. I just kind of bully the other teachers into everybody does this. And I've gotten some of the economics teachers on board too, so they're doing it as well. Then we get all the scores in, big spreadsheet, and we look through the scores to see who the highest scoring people are. And if we are one of the top 6 teams in the state, we're invited to go to the championship. We've been in the top 6 every year that I've been doing this. Can you go to the next one, please? So yeah, a little humble brag. Yes, we've gone every year. Once we are invited and we have our list of how students did on the test, we start recruiting to get the top 6 kids. It's not always the top 6, and that's fine. You know, it depends. Kind of, you know, some kids can't do it because of sports seasons or something else going on. So that's great. We get our team together. When we actually go to the state competition, there's 4 people up on stage, and it's basically like a Jeopardy game, and we have 2 alternates. We play everybody between each match. They have a time right in the middle of the match where we can swap people in, so we constantly swap people in and out. So everybody plays. We have great kids. They're rock stars, you know. So a little more. This was our first round this year, playing Bo. And again, you can take a look at the score up there.
Nice job, guys.
We were lapping them, you know. It was, and I mean, not even, you look at the numbers, that's one thing, but if you look at the board, all those W's and how many questions we got right, you know, like I said, they were rock stars.
Totally.
So round 2, not quite as good.
Come on, guys.
But I am not disappointed in them whatsoever, because we were seated 2nd in the state. Really? So because of that seating, in our division, everybody, the 3 teams in our division, we were all 1-1 after the preliminaries. So because we were the highest seed, we automatically moved on to the semifinals.
Gotcha.
So, and we knew that ahead of time because my kids are so smart. They figured that out before the preliminaries were even over, that, yeah, we're in. So then on to the semifinals. And there we go. This is a nice picture because you can kind of see the format of like them sitting up there. They had their name tags. We were in uniform. I mean, they look good. Not only being smart, but they look good too.
They look good, sure.
And the next one. So this was the semifinal round against Goffstown.
Awesome.
Yeah, it kind of speaks for itself. And then in the finals, we played Raymond. We changed the strategy a little bit in the finals, and I had them going, or not I had them, Captain Jason decided that we were going to answer the harder questions first, like go for those. It's like Jeopardy. It was 14, 16, and 18 points. So they went for the 18-pointers up first, and obviously did well with that.
Awesome.
I was worried about Raymond because Mrs. Arsenault from here, who lives in Raymond and coaches teaches personal finance at the junior high level. You know, all of her kids are in the high school there, and so they're always tough. They're always tough. And I was texting her as we were winning, and she was happy that we did so well. And next, Sean McDonald from WMUR was there. He did the questions on the semifinals and the finals. There they are with the trophy. Yay! The trophy lives in my room. We didn't bring it down because we figured I was bragging enough about this stuff. And then the next one, and all of the kids won $100 bill for winning the championship.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes, so there they are with their hundreds. But wait, there's more. So each round had a, what was it called? Finlit Frenzy? Right, a special question, right? Ding, 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 the bells go off. And a special question, and they could earn Finlit Frenzy coins. Say that fast. Yeah. And then for each round, there was this one question, and they get the question right, they get these coins. But not only that, everybody in their division would get the coins. So we got the other teams were rooting for each other on this, which was great. I think we got 6 out of the 7 bags of coins, which meant our division was cleaning up. And then at the end, we cashed in the coins for $5 a piece. So the kids went home with $145 a piece.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and I hope you saved it all, right? All into the college fund.
Invested it, it's all that,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Right to the Winnacunnet store, right?
Yes.
Well, that would be nice too. Yeah. Next, please. So what's next? Because we felt so good about this, we started thinking about what's the next thing. Now, Finlit doesn't have a national program, but there is a National Personal Finance Challenge. So I asked them if they wanted to do that. We did. So it closed, I think, last Friday. And again, it was like a 30-question online multiple choice thing. We'll hear April 24th if we win for the state of New Hampshire. New Hampshire doesn't have a state team with this organization, so we're in a wild card thing with the state of New Hampshire, but for the state of New Hampshire. And there's probably not a lot of schools, so our chances could be pretty good. If we do qualify for that, the in-person finals is in Cleveland during senior week. So I'm not going to plan anything ahead. We'll wait. I'm not going to hear until next Monday how we did.
How many seniors did you have?
All of you but Lily, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
We
it's
can put off senior week if you want for a week. Okay. I'm sure the rest of you guys wouldn't matter if it's wine, right?
I think it's Sunday and Monday. So honestly, if they miss the Monday, but because of that, I said, well, why don't we have more kids take the the National Personal Finance Challenge? So again, I bullied my coworker Keith Detchen, who also went with us. He's new here at Winnacunnet, and I dragged him as my assistant coach to this because when I finally retire, I want him to take it over. So my classes, his classes, all took this challenge. We got the scores back. Of course, these guys scored the highest on all of it, and we'll see when we find out what's going to happen with that. And then next, we'll do Finlit again next year. I'd like to get more students involved in it. And the National Personal Finance Challenge, I mean, we really came to it late. We'll be more proactive on that and continue it. I think that was kind of fun.
That's awesome.
And I think that's it. Is that the last one? I believe so.
That's fun.
They did a great job. Super proud.
Congratulations, you guys. That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Does anybody have any questions for these guys? Good job.
Are any of you thinking about a career in finance?
So I am, next year I'm going to Bryant University for
Great.
accounting and a minor in finance.
Congratulations. Great school.
Possibly?
I should add too, Nathan was on the team last year, and he also, during the COVID period, because we weren't competing, I set up like a Google Classroom and had Ed Puzzles on there and basically did a certificate thing for people, and so he was doing that as a sophomore.
Wow.
So he's been right along, and I think he's taken every single business class that we offer.
That's amazing. That's great. Awesome. Any other questions, guys? No. Congratulations. What a great program.
Yeah, that's great.
And one that's needed so much, too. You
And
know?
I give Janice Arsenal a lot of credit. She's the one who started it all.
Did she?
Yeah.
She's great. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And continued success with it, too. All right. Moving on, superintendent's report. Yeah.
I can share a couple things. I know she would
Okay.
want to share them. Well, first, legislative meeting, just thank you to the board. Thank you to our legislators for meeting the legislative roundtable on the 10th of March. And, I'm sorry, what is it? Oh yeah, March, 10th of March, to discuss upcoming legislation. We went through a litany of proposed bills, but I think we all left with a better understanding of how things work, kind of what kind of issues are important to the legislation, and what we can do to advocate for schools and our kids. I'm sure Bill's going to talk about transition and end of the year, so I'll leave that alone. Portrait of a Learner, speaking of actually financial literacy, under the umbrella of Portrait of a Learner, we've started working with New Hampshire Learning Institute, and we are planning on putting out a Gallup poll for our students, 9 through 12, in the month of May, mid-May. I think it's the 16th. And what that does is it looks at career pathways. It looks at things like financial literacy, preparedness, and readiness for the future. So we're going to use that as baseline data for the Portrait of a Learner work that we're going to embark on next year. We're excited about it. And I think it's going to give us a great kind of end of the year tally for Portrait. And student events, Bill's probably going to talk about this as well, but just kudos to the Little Shop of Horrors because it was awesome. Northampton also did Disney's Aladdin, and Seabrook did Incognito. And lastly, kudos to Heather Cronin. SATs were held late last month for juniors, and the state assessments are going to begin in May. And I'll wrap it up for the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Then you keep going.
Oh, okay. Assistant superintendent's report. The first one is pretty much a celebration. We had the statewide Innovations in Learning Conference this couple weeks ago, and I just wanted to draw your attention to 3 of the highlighted presenters. One was UDL, Universal Design for Learning, which was actually, it's a committee that's active in Seabrook Middle School. So that's just ways to differentiate lessons, make sure that all kids are incorporated into the lesson, and all kids can get content out of our lessons. 1. 2 was New Hampshire Extended Learning Opportunities. Guess who presented? And they did amazing. Winnacunnet was featured, and as always, the kids steal the show for that presentation. And 3rd was, of course, Portrait of a Learner, and we got to present and panel discussion for a statewide audience. So we were really proud of that. I don't need to go into grants, but I can almost celebrate. We are all but 2 teachers away from fully certified for next year. We have plans with both of them and ready to go. That's SAU-wide, so check.
Yeah.
And that's it for my report.
All right. Next, Mary.
Thanks so much, everybody. Good to see you all. Just a couple of updates for you this evening. Starting with a little good news for our friends at Seabrook Elementary School. Wanted to share this because it was a competitive grant application and they were awarded, and it's really nice for them to have this opportunity to engage in some comprehensive planning for the next 6 to 9 months, leading to another grant application that will be a big deal if we're able to achieve it, and will help Seabrook Elementary School become a full-service community schoolhouse, really supporting children and their families beginning at birth through age 8. So we're in the process now of looking for a coordinator. The planning grant funds a coordinator position to help us bring all of the agencies and community partners into the planning for the new grant, and we will keep you posted SAU-wide, because it certainly is a wonderful thing for all of the SAU 21 community and all of our kids that eventually will be here at Winnacunnet High School. Also want to just give a formal welcome to Patrice Baker. She began about 3 weeks ago as our early intervention outreach specialist. She's working across SAU 21 about 60% of her time, and another 40% with SAU 90. This position is funded in combination with McKinney-Vento Homeless Assurance Act to support children with housing insecurity, and as well as some funding from our IDA grant funds. So She's really supporting the collective needs of all of these communities, establishing relationships with target families of young children that may not have access to early intervention strategies. She's hitting the ground running, and in just the last 3 weeks, she's already made so many good connections and is doing really good work. Her background as the Director of Prevention Programs for Pine Tree Institute and as Parent Education Manager for Greater Seacoast Community Health is really enhancing the work that we're doing. So we're really happy to have her here, and it's just going to be wonderful for us. So you'll be hearing more from Patrice. Wanted you to know that thanks to a very generous donation from the Brook, we have posted for an SAU-wide school social worker, and the applications are beginning to come in for that. So we'll be doing some screening and community interviews, and hopefully we will be naming a finalist at the joint board meeting held in May. So we're very excited about that opportunity. Thank you to the joint board for supporting our efforts to ensure that we're meeting the mental and emotional health needs of all of our students. As you know, it's on all of our minds. And then I had told you about April 5th. We were excited to welcome Brian Medler. It was a very successful SAU-wide professional learning morning. All of the participants received a copy of Brian's latest book, and he was very engaging, spoke from the heart, from his own personal experience as both a student with special needs and also as a teacher supporting students with emotional disabilities. And everyone came away feeling really inspired by that. And finally, I attended the NHA SEA Annual Law Conference in Concord last Friday, along with all of the special services directors, and we heard just about a lot of recent cases that impact all of the work that we do on a day-to-day basis, and helped us really consider how we participate and do our job and ensure that we're meeting the needs of our students and including and honoring the rights of our families. So it was just very educational. Any questions for me?
No, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bill, presidents. Yeah, he got the promotion. I forgot to give you guys the memo. Principal's report.
Good evening. So I did figure that out today. Good evening. One of the great things we're doing right now, we had an English teacher actually, Mrs. Warden and Mr. Princelau, with their freshman students' English classes. We partnered with Cornerstone Assisted Living just down the road, where the freshman students meet with some of the residents, and what they interview them. They're going to put together their life story. And so we started that last Wednesday, and today 8 of those residents came up to Winnacunnet High School and met in the auditorium with those students. And it was just great to see those students. The conversations between the students and the residents was wonderful. So I think it's a great project. We'll see what we can do in the future to expand it. Ms. LaFawn did join us for a little bit.
Got there. It was amazing, and of course I show up and I know one of the residents, which I hadn't seen in years, typical. But listening to them talk about how it was so, this woman is hilarious, but she was saying it's so nice to be with young people because she's with old people all the time. So having the young people coming into the school, into Cornerstone, she loved the conversations and watching the kids and the animation of the students that were sitting with these residents. You know what it's like. It's so unusual to see a kid without the phone or the computer or whatnot, and fully engaging and eye contact, and it was really, really great. Just to watch all of it and from both sides. So I think it's a skill that we're lacking these days, in those personal skills, and I think it's a great program. I hope it expands to the point where we have them here a lot and vice versa. So great job.
The other thing, New Hampshire Department of Education has their 603 Bright Future Survey. They started that a few years ago, and it's open for families in all the schools, staff in the school, and also community members. So that's been sent out. That closes a week from Friday, And that survey will give us information about school climate, community engagement, and other topics, so we can continue working how we can improve Winnacunnet High School. Once again, Hannaford Help Schools program is in effect. For the last 30 years, they've been running this program, and we probably receive anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 back from that program each year. So it's a great program, and it supports us. The proposed end-of-year dates, hopefully that will be the final end-of-year dates in a few moments. COVID data, I continue to post the numbers, and the great news is for the last 2 weeks, we have not had any students and or staff with COVID, and nobody's even come to test. So again, I probably shouldn't say anything, but right now things are going well. We've received 2 donations that I've accepted. These 2 I can accept without your approval. But this school year, we've been working with the Hampton Chamber of Commerce and local businesses, and they've been donating money to support a teacher appreciation breakfast. We've been doing that once a month, and we will have breakfast here tomorrow at 7 o'clock if you'd like to join us. Donated by the Airfield Cafe. Enrollments are pretty stable. Upcoming events. Dave had mentioned the 8th to 9th grade transition. April 4th, we had the 8th grade students here for the morning where they went around, spoke to teachers. We had an activity fair down at the gym, and also an activity fair up in the dining hall where they could check out different electives and sports. So I think it was very well received. And then, if you want to join us, on Saturday, May 13th, we will have the 8th grade mixer.
Yes.
So we'll have the 8th grade students come up here, so it's a lot of fun.
We'll be the chaperones.
I need some chaperones, so you just signed yourself up.
Guys, we'll all be there, all right? Bring out your dresses.
So next week, I think everybody's looking forward to spring break. The week we come back, we have parent conferences. 10-minute, and it just gets very busy this year. 10-minute plays, ITS induction ceremony. The art show has been pushed back to Thursday, May 18th. I'm sure the juniors are getting ready for the junior prom on May 20th. We have the kneecap state science assessment on May 23rd. Another event with the music department, Winnacunnet Coffee House. And then they're also playing Winnacunnet Jazz at the Seashell on Tuesday, May 30th. And that just brings us to the senior week, which is already being planned. So, yeah, basically, hold on to everything once we get back from spring break.
Yeah, make no plans whatsoever. We'll be here. Got it.
And
Awesome.
Spring sports are well underway, and I think right now we're in a good spot.
Great. Thank you. We have our finance reports in there, and we have our facilities reports. If there's any questions, we can reach out to them. It is now 7:10, and I'm gonna close public comments as I don't see anybody. You guys don't wanna jump up and talk or anything? You sure? All right, all right. All right, so public comment is closed. So we're going to, school board committee appointments. Have you guys had a chance to think of what you would like to be on for committees? Anybody?
Well, I was gonna say on policy committee since
Yep.
I just became the chair.
Yeah, so I guess you're, well, that one's taken care of. Okay, so there we go. So Nicole will be on policy. We need, what do we need? Here we go, down there. Operations. Tamara, you were on that. Do you want to stay on that?
I certainly can.
Okay.
I enjoy it, and I know there's a meeting coming up, so I'm happy to go. Unless
Then I
somebody
think-
else wants to take it.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Have you got one that you, Desiree, that you're interested in?
Well, going through the list here,
Yeah.
the CESPA negotiations, that will probably be in fall.
Yep, CESPA we won't need. If you could, we will?
Yeah, you won't need C,
Oh, C, there we go. Okay. Yep.
and you're right, it'll be in the fall.
So I can jump on that if needed.
Okay.
I'm also open to wherever I'm needed, to be quite honest. I
Okay.
don't think my assets will be, truly shining on the budget committee. It's not necessarily my forte. I am not a numbers
Yeah.
lady. I'm more of a creative.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. No,
so-
that's fine.
Outside of that, I think I'm open to wherever I'm needed.
All right, perfect, thank you. So then let's put you on, we'll put you on that one then. What did we say, CESPA?
Yeah.
Okay,
that
so we'll do
definitely
that
interests
for
me.
you. And then, Tricia said she'd like to stay on for, SST and for the budget, so that's fine.
Do you mind, because I have to type this off, if we just go like,
Oh,
Each
you
one.
don't like me jumping around?
and the other part is you need an alternate for all of these.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So can we just kind of start,
No.
honestly, from the
Yes.
top?
Okay,
So operations committee had Tamara,
yep.
Yeah.
right?
Alternate is, do you want, Nicole, do you wanna stay on that as an alternate?
Oh, sure, I never had to go.
Yeah, you never have to go, okay. SAU Policy Committee is gonna be Nicole.
Yeah.
SAU Policy Committee alternate. Tamara, do you wanna stay on that?
If I can be alternative, sure.
Yeah, you can be, perfect. We don't need C, right?
Do not need C.
Do not need C.
You need CESPA.
You need
So we're
CESPA
at
then.
CESPA negotiations,
Yep.
there's Desiree.
Yep, Desiree.
And then an alternate.
I'll be the alternate on that. BudCom will give to Tricia. BudCom alternate.
I'm happy to do it unless someone else wants to.
Yeah, Nicole, that sounds great, thank you. The school board delegate, Tamara, do you wanna stay on
Yeah,
that?
I can do that.
Okay, great. Desiree, you wanna be an alternate on that?
Sure.
Perfect. Facilities committee, Tricia was on that, does anybody else wanna jump on that instead? Okay, Tricia gets it. I can be the alternate on that. Wellness and joint loss, it's during the school day. I'm on that, but I don't know what it is, cause we never met, I don't think. But we'll need an alternate on that. Meets during the school day, so you can't, right?
I can't.
Nope.
Is there a particular day it meets during the school day?
I don't know. Bill, do you know?
I don't know.
What?
The wellness and joint loss?
Yes,
Do you know what day it meets, or is it
it meets once every 6 months.
once
Days
every
every-
6 months?
Right, but we don't know which day.
We don't know which day.
I
Okay.
can jump on that if needed.
Okay, why don't we give you can be the alternate on that, how's that?
Sure.
All right, and extracurricular stipends committee, once, I can do that. And then an alternate, Tamara will be an alternate on that. Sweet. Got it?
Good.
Better than jumping around? You're welcome. My fault. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
Oh, we
We need
need
a
a
motion, right?
motion.
Oh, a motion, yeah, sorry.
Can we just say, I'll make a motion to approve
The following.
committee appointments as reviewed or something?
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
Work.
perfect. Second?
Second?
Great. All those in favor? Awesome, thank you. Tamara,
Yes,
Accessibility.
accessibility study committee. So after, a somewhat, dormant period, with passage of the budget, I feel we're in a good position. I met with, Matt, to talk about, next steps and potential funding streams. And we have a preliminary, estimate. I had, met with, Bill, and we got some preliminary numbers from, facilities and grounds. And we're now going to go back and drill down on those numbers and get actual, estimates, and then, kind of depending on how that rolls out, we'll go out, for some bids. So,
Yeah,
Bill,
so-
do you have anything you wanna add?
So the plan is to finalize the specs and the design. We'll get that over to SAU, and the plan is to issue a request for proposals and hopefully have those results ready for the June school board meeting.
great. Awesome,
Very exciting.
good deal.
And, actually, Desiree, just so, to get you up to speed, last year we started thinking about, adding a pathway, around the outdoor sports fields in order to make accessibility a little bit, easier for folks, who are, either have mobility issues or, use a walker or wheelchair. And, just as really as a way for that and to help bring the community in and signal to them that we appreciate their participation. So
Great.
that's all.
Great, thank you so much. At this point, we have new business, so we have the awarding of bids. Nancy, do you want to come up on those, or do you want us just to read them? If anybody has any questions, right?
I'll
Okay.
answer any questions. If you want
Okay.
a presentation, I can do it, but.
All right, nope, we've had these in our packet, guys, so, if anybody has any questions on them, if not, what I think we'll can go right through them, and just award the bids to who they recommended. Does that make sense to everybody?
Sure.
Yeah?
Do you need to vote, everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so then for the award of the athletic field lighting, can I get a motion for that?
I move to award the bid for the athletic field LED lighting project to Musco, MUSCO Corporation in the amount of $153,421.
Thank you. Could I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Any questions, or, I forgot I always do that. Okay, all those in favor? Great. Then we have the bid for the auditorium lighting.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to award the bid for the auditorium lighting project to High Output in the amount of $159,362.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Great, thank you. All those in, any questions? All those in favor? Thank you. We have trash removal.
You want me to keep rolling?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
We're on a roll, I like it.
I make a motion to award the bid for the trash removal service for a 2-year contract to G Mello, MELLO Disposal Corporation in the amount of $565 per week.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? All those in favor? Thank you. Thank you. School truck.
I make a motion to award the truck lease purchase bid to Acme Auto Leasing.
Sorry, but that sounds like
I
a
know.
cartoon, doesn't
I
it?
know.
Okay.
For the amount of $11,460 per year in a 5-year lease.
Thank you. And a second? Any question? Oh, second, sorry. Anybody?
Oh, second.
Second, okay. All those in favor? Thank you. School van.
I make a motion to award the van lease purchase bid to Hilltop Chevrolet in the amount of $9,476 per year for a 5-year lease.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Can I ask one quick question? On the van and the truck, are we gonna own it at the end?
Yes.
Am I reading it correctly?
Yes, it's
Okay,
a dollar buyout.
okay.
And we own it.
That's awesome. Nancy, thank you, and Matt, for all the bids and stuff. That's great. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Well,
All
I've
right.
never spent money quite so fast.
I know, isn't it nice?
My mortgage, you know?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, we can come to my house and do these things too, so, yeah. All right, so the last day of school. So, you.
Me?
You,
Okay. Kids, you ready?
yeah.
This is important. So as discussed at joint board, we've had 2.5 snow days at Winnacunnet. So we're recommending June 16th, that Friday, as the last day of school, which would be an early release for kids. So that would leave 2 additional days for Winnacunnet staff. Because of Juneteenth, one is going to be served on Tuesday, June 20th, and the other is to be scheduled no later than June 30th with our staff member's supervisor, direct supervisor. And that's the recommended motion, unless you guys have questions.
Anybody have any questions on it? So that's the motion, as he read it. You wanna read it out? Go for it.
I can.
Go
Motion
for it.
to approve Friday, June 16th as the last day of school as an early release for Winnacunnet students and 2 additional days for teachers.
All right.
Second?
Do I have a second? Great. All those in favor? Beautiful. Thank you.
And just some dates, now that everything's final, well, some things are final anyway. Oh, I guess I will, since I do have a senior here, or some seniors here, the senior exams will be Thursday, June 1st and June 2nd. Graduation rehearsal will be June 5th through the 9th, with graduation on Friday, June 9th. During that week also, we have Tuesday, June 6th will be the evening school graduation ceremony at 6 o'clock. Wednesday, June 7th will be the scholarship night at 6:30. Thursday, June 8th will be the senior banquet. And then graduation, hopefully we will have nice weather and we will be outside at 6 o'clock.
Yay.
For the underclassmen, we will have final exams on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the 14th, 15th, and 16th. And students will be dismissed at 11 a.m. each of those days. And then the last day for teachers, as we discussed.
Beautiful. Thank you. I love it. All right, next up, federal grant general assurances. Who wants to take that one?
Nobody else is here, I guess I'll take this one. We have a number of layers. If we participate in federal grants, we have a number of layers of assurances that we have to sign and make sure that everybody understands. We have general assurances, we have program assurances, and we have equitable services for private schools. The general assurances are in front of you today, and the recommendation is to get the board chair signature on them, but we will need a motion for that. They just assure that we're following all the rules.
Right. So I need a motion to authorize me to sign things. All your pay increases, all those fun things. No.
I'll make a motion to authorize Board Chair Leslie LaFawn to sign the FY 2024 general assurances on behalf of the Winnacunnet School Board.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. Personnel, so we have to go into non-public, correct?
Correct.
All right, so
Future meetings.
which one are we doing? Here we go.
Oh, do you wanna do the future meetings first, before we go? into
Oh, yeah, do you
public?
wanna do, what do we want?
Future meetings.
Sure, yeah, future meetings, we have the auditorium dedication on May 1st at 3 o'clock. We have the SAU 21 Operations Committee meeting Wednesday, May 10th. And we have our next Winnacunnet School Board was changed. It is Tuesday, May 16th.
Same
Alrighty.
time, though.
Same time, yep. Same time, same place. All right. Thank you all, and can I get a motion to get,
I actually have one more item, if
oh,
I may.
yes,
Indulge the board. I just want to, thank, Grace, for all of her work. I'm hoping she'll be here next
She will be.
meeting,
she
but
will be here for me.
I know it's
Yep.
getting very close to,
Yep.
graduation and lots going on. And also, just to share with everybody, Grace just shared with me that she was, a recipient of a New Hampshire School Board Association scholarship.
Oh,
So,
Very nice.
for the school board representative,
Yep.
student
Yeah.
representative?
Mr. McGowan and Ms. Nato made me aware of the scholarship, and they, encouraged me to apply for it, and so I did. And I found out on Monday that I was awarded the scholarship for the Southern District, so
That's
I'm really
awesome.
excited.
Great.
And Mrs. Nato and I invited a representative to the next school board meeting to.
Great.
They want to do like an award
An award
Official.
ceremony?
That's
That's
awesome.
So we invited
Perfect.
them if they are able to come. If not, they'll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Great.
Great.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That is, congratulations.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna miss you. The other thing too, the elections will be over, right? So maybe on the May one, if you wanna bring in the
Right.
new,
Yep.
right?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
We know you're gonna go far. All right, so I need a motion to go into non-public.
I will make a motion for a roll call to enter non-public session under RSA 91-A:3 to A, B at 7:25 PM.
Thank you. Roll call. Oh, a second.
I'll second.
Thanks.
All right, Leslie LaFawn,
Yes.
Nicole Zico,
Yes.
Tamara Leck,
Yes.
and Desiree Potter.
Yes.
Thank you.